Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Cole Chance here, and I wanted to let you know, if you haven't already heard, about Cole Chance Yoga Tribe, and that is our subscription service, so it'll be all of the videos that I've ever done without those pesky ads, and then also the 1-hour flows that we sell at YOGATX.org. Those will be included in that package, so you can get all of that together and join the Yoga Tribe. But today, let's go ahead and get centered, get grounded. So I'm sitting up on a yoga block right now. You can sit up on a rolled up blanket or a pillow. It's just nice to lift the hips up over the knees. Take a big breath in and let it out. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. And again, big inhale. Feel the ribs expand. And then exhale out any worries, anything you're thinking about that'll distract you from the practice. And then again, inhale. Let's exhale gratitude for showing up today. Good, and keep going with that deep breath. Let's just scan the body. Notice where you're holding any tension. And notice where you have any space, where you're feeling open. And spread the collarbones a little wider so the shoulders pull away from each other. Maybe sit up a little bit taller, as if I was gonna come around and pull up on your ears. Crown of the head lengthens. Find a nice pace for the breath, and we'll take that along. And the breath is the most important, so if you just breathe, you're doing wonderful. The poses are just decorations for the breath, so we'll just add those on. And if you find yourself doing the poses and not breathing, go ahead and back up and just come back to the breath. That's home base. One more inhale. Release. Good. Go ahead and come off of the block if you're sitting up on anything. And we're going to come right around into hands and knees. So spread the fingers wide. Most of the weight is in the L shape of your hand, and the crease is parallel with the top of the mat. So they're facing forward. So we'll just do a couple cat-cows here to wake up the spine. Drop the belly, tail goes up. Pull the hands back towards the knees to pull the chest forward, gaze up. Cow pose, like an old sway back cow. And then exhale, we'll push the ground away, kind of dome the palms. The spine goes up towards the sky, belly comes towards the spine like angry cat. So this is cat pose. Keep moving with your breath now. Inhale. Exhale, push the ground away. And again, inhale, coming through, chest pulling through, hands towards the knees. And exhale. Good. Let's tuck the toes, come back into a downward facing dog. So this can be like about 50%. We're just waking up the backs of the thighs, the backs of the calves, just opening everything up. Pedaling out. And let's pull forward into plank pose. So you can stay in a plank pose with the knees up, or you can bring the knees down, but the shoulders will stay over the wrist. If the knees are down, there's kind of a diagonal line from the crown to the knee. So wherever you'd like to be here. Knees up, knees down. Feeling the strength in the shoulders, pulling the chest forward a little bit so we're not having that angry cat pose. We're dropping the shoulders away. So let's exhale, bring the knee towards the right elbow. Bring it back. left knee, left elbow. Bring it back. Again, exhale, come in. Inhale, place back. Exhale. Inhale, replace. Exhale, left. And replace. Push back, child's pose. Feel just that little bit of fire you're starting to create. Check back in with the breath. One more in. Release. Come back into the hands. Tuck the toes, plank pose. So bring the left knee, and we're going to place it right under the belly button and move the left foot over towards the right. Bring the right knee behind the left knee, the right foot over to the left. And we're going to start to sit back. So if you have that block or the blanket, you can sit on top of it. So the feet are out to the side. You're kind of wiggling the hips in on the block or off the block. And if this is too much, you can take the bottom leg and bring it over. And just try to bring the knees on top of each other is really what we're going for. So either one of these positions. So settling in here, really getting into the outer hips. Let's take the right arm across the body. With the left hand, we'll start to pull in. So let's move with breath. So inhale, release, make some space. Exhale, pull it in, opening the outside of the shoulder. Inhale, make space, and exhale. And once more. Good. We'll take that right arm up and over. Take the hand behind the head. Take the left hand at the elbow, or you can take it behind the back, whichever one is better. If it's behind the back and you notice that the left shoulder is rolling forward, if it won't roll back, then go ahead and bring it up, because the point is to open here. But this is a wonderful stretch either way. So hand on the elbow or behind the back, pressing the head back into the arm. This is opening up this right side here. Breathing. Feeling the whole rib cage expand. So bringing that breath low. We tend to breathe high. See if you can take it a little deeper. One more big inhale. And then exhale, release, and let's take that arm to the knee. Take the elbow to the knee. Take the hands together, press them in, and then twist the chest, gazing towards the left. Slow and steady breath. Drink in and inhale. Exhale. Let's open up. Plant the hands behind. We'll unwind the legs. Plant the feet on the ground. So the fingers are pointing towards the hips. I'm going to roll the shoulders back. The chest is towards the knees. And on an inhale, I'm going to stand into the feet and the hands, lift the hips. Drop the head back on an exhale. Stick the tongue out. One more inhale. Tongue out. One more inhale. And exhale, drop the hips down, cross the legs, plant the hands. We'll come back into a plank pose. Starting to feel a little heat opening up as well. So this time, let's take the left knee underneath the belly button and the foot over to the left. The right knee comes behind and the foot goes to the right. So same thing, start to sit the hips back. noting that it may be a little more challenging on one side than the other, and that's fine. None of us are very even. So just wiggling into whatever it feels like on this side. Again, the block is a great thing, a great way to bring the earth to you. So wiggle in. Notice the difference. Yoga is so much about starting to notice those things that can just pass us by so often. Let's take the left arm over, right hand. We'll start to pull in. So we'll inhale with space, and then exhale, pull in. Inhale. And pull in. It's like moving meditation. And pull in. Good. Left arm comes all the way up. Hand behind, comes behind. The head presses back into the arm. So again, here you can take the left arm behind the back as long as the right shoulder stays open, or take that arm up to the elbow and kind of encourage it to open. So you can even gaze up, lean back, breathing, breathing. One more inhale. Exhale, start to unwind, and we'll take the left elbow over to the knee. Hands come together, and then push into the knee to twist the torso towards the right. So gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale. Release. Come back to center. Plant the hands. Let's unwind the legs, and this time we'll take Navasana, boat pose. So many variations on this as well. There's always many different ways to do it. Many different bodies, so many different ways to do this. So again, roll the shoulders back, just kind of like we started with the altar pose. And we'll start to lean back, and as we lean back, we lift the legs up. So I kind of have a flex point in my toes. You can point if you like, or flex if you like. This is just where I'm going today. So you can stay here with the hands behind the thighs, or you can release the hands. Pull the belly in. As soon as you feel like you're rounding over, then come out a little bit. We want the shoulders going back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross the ankles, plant the hands. Let's come back into downward facing dog. So stretch it out. This is such a wonderful full body stretch. Pedal the feet like a kitty pawing the floor. Good. Come to stillness. Keep a micro bend in the knees, or maybe you bend the knees deep, whichever. But wherever you are, send the tailbone, the sit bones up towards the sky. Pull the belly in, and then re-push the ground away. See if you can get a little more length in the spine. Let's lift the right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest, kind of push the ground away, and then we'll plant the foot on the outside of the right hand. So stay a few moments here, not minutes, a few moments here. Just kind of rock forward and back. Start to kind of get into the psoas and the hip flexors. So the heel goes back, and then come to the toes, heel back, come to the toes. So you can stay here if you'd like, or bring the knee down, and you can sink a little deeper into the hips. So start to engage that breath. Bring the awareness back into the breath. If you'd like to come down into the elbows here, you can. Especially when we're getting in these really deep poses, the breath is so important, because when we hold the breath, which is what we tend to do when we're in discomfort or a little bit of pain, is that tightens up the muscles. So if we're in a deep stretch, the deeper that you breathe, the deeper that you're getting that release as well. That goes for being off the mat as well. whenever you're in discomfort, if we can learn to breathe deeply in uncomfortable situations, then that can really change perspective and create some space before reaction. Let's come back into the hands if you were down. Take the right hand to the knee, and we're just going to twist the torso open, gaze over the shoulder. If you'd like to reach back for the foot, you can also do this here. This creates a quad stretch as well. It's pretty deep, so move slow. Wherever you are, one more big inhale. Exhale, plant the hand. We're going to step back. Plank pose, shoulders away from ears, staying strong here. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Find your down dog. Again, a little micro bend in the knees and the tail up towards the sky. Inhale, let's lift the left leg up. Toes are pointed down. And then exhale, start to bring the knee to the chest, push the ground away, and then we'll plant the foot on the outside of the left hand. Start to sink the hips. Come forward onto the toes, and then push the heel back. And keep moving. So you find a little bit of buoyancy here. Opening up on the right side and the left side. There's all kinds of opening here. Checking back in with your breath. It's a slippery thing. It can get away from us really easy. Finding fluidity. Coming down onto the knee here. So you can come down onto the elbows. This is also a wonderful place for a block as well. So bring the earth a little bit closer. And it all depends on the day as well. Sometimes we're feeling a little more open. Our body is constantly changing. So just have compassion for the body that you're in today. You can drop the neck, shake the head yes or no. Get a little traction. One more inhale. Exhale. Let's replant the hands. Move the block if you had it. Take the left hand to the knee, and we'll start to twist open towards the left, gazing over the left shoulder. So one thing to watch here is this bottom shoulder might want to turn in. You want to externally rotate it. So one way to do that is to imagine you're opening a jar with the right hand. So you're twisting it open towards the right. It keeps that in line. Again, you can grab for the back foot if you'd like. If you do this, go really slow. Wherever you are, move gently. One more big inhale. Exhale, plant the hand. Lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Gaze towards the hands. We're going to step to the outside of both of the hands now. So the right foot will step outside the right hand. The left foot step outside the left hand. We'll start to bring the hips down. So another great place for the block, if you'd like to set it underneath, we'll bring the hands in between the knees. So imagine you're really tall from the crown of the head to the tail here. Hands are pressing together, knees pressing into the elbows, elbows pressing into the knees, all kinds of little actions. And imagine pulling up, don't imagine, pull up on the pelvic floor. So it's like you're stopping the flow of pee, you're pulling everything up. Sounds a little strange, but it ignites those low belly muscles. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, turn the toes to front, forward fold. We'll move with breath. Inhale, turn the toes out. Drop the hips just for a breath. Inhale. Exhale, toes go forward, hips lift. Exhale, crown spills to the ground. Twice more. Inhale, drop the hips. Maybe you just come down a little bit. Exhale, fold forward. It never matters what the pose looks like. It's that you're getting the sensation, the action from the pose. Inhale, bring the hips down. And exhale, forward fold. So you can move the block now. Knees can be bent deeply here, but at least have a micro bend. Start to sway side to side. Send the hips to the left and the hips to the right. Good, come to center. Bend deeply in the right leg, plant the right hand on the ground, push the ground away, and like you're pulling back on a bow and arrow, start to pull the left hand and spin open. Left fingertips are reaching up towards the sky. Same thing here, the shoulder wants to roll in. Externally rotate. You can also think about opening that jar to the right. So really long from the left hand down to the right hand. On an inhale, engage the core, come up onto the fingertips, and then exhale here. One more time, engage that core, come all the way up to standing, stay twisted, gaze back at the hand. Inhale, lift the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, cactus the arms, send the hips forward, the heart and the head back. Inhale, hands up, press the palms together. Exhale, bend the knees as you fold forward. Send the hips side to side again, kind of sway, maybe like a figure eight. Check back in with your breath, slow and steady. And come to center. Let's go to the other side. This time, left knee bends deeply. The right hand plants on the ground. With the left hand plants on the ground. With the right arm, we're going to pull back like that bow and arrow. The gaze follows the hand. Notice if this left shoulder rolls in, roll it out. Open the jar to the left. Inhale, come up onto the fingers, stay twisted. Exhale. Inhale, engage the belly, come all the way up, gazing back at the left hand. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, cactus the arms, hips forward, gaze up. Inhale, everything lifts, hands pressed together. Bend the knees, bow forward. Good. Let's heel toe the feet together and come down into a little ball here. Bring the face towards the knees, tiny little ball. Maybe you can bring the hands behind for a little support. Just breathing here. And let's roll down, all the way down. You can even keep the knees into the chest and we'll come down onto the back, rocking side to side. Place the feet on the ground. So let's take a bridge pose here. Bring the feet so that your fingers can touch the heels. It's a good distance. Toes are pointed forward. Hands are on the ground. Roll the shoulder blades back. Push the low back down onto the ground as the tailbone starts to lift. It'll start to come up. You can leave the hands pressing into the ground, or you can bring the hands together and then shimmy the shoulders underneath. Push down into the shoulders to lift the hips up. Not to crunch at the neck. You want to be able to put like an orange right there, so maybe bring the neck up so you have a little bit of space. Push the toes towards the top of the mat. That'll lift the hips a little bit higher. Engage the glutes. One more big inhale. And then exhale, release the hands, unwind the shoulders, and slowly roll back down. Bring the feet wide to the side of the mat. Knock the knees together. Place one hand on the heart, one on the belly. Come back to the breath. Bridge is a really challenging pose. It's actually one of my least favorite poses for some reason. So I'm trying to start to practice it more just because of that. I'm trying to learn to love it. But it's so strengthening. Start to bring the feet back together, not together, but back where they were, about hips distance. So you can come back up into a bridge the way that we just did. Or if you have a block or even a pillow handy, lift the hips up. Place the block underneath the sacrum. So it's not going to be on the low back, because see how the sways right here? That's not where we want it. You want to put it on, the sacrum is like kind of that plate at the very base of the spine. So it's even lower, top of the butt, base of the spine. That's where you want to put it. This is my kind of bridge pose. So you can take a few moments here, or if you're taking the full bridge pose, stay up for about 5 seconds and then come down. We'll stay a couple more moments here. And then push into the feet. Lift the hips, remove the block. Come back down. Let's extend the legs long. Roll the palms up, shoulder blades onto the back. And just take 5 conscious, aware breaths so that when you inhale, you know that you're inhaling. And when you exhale, you know that you're exhaling. And maybe you can extend the length of these just by maybe a count or 2. And we'll do the last 3 together. So drink in a breath, feel the belly, torso expand. Release it out, sink lower into the mat. Twice more. Inhale some gratitude for showing up today. And exhale. And one more time. Gratitude for your body. However your body is feeling today. Let's show it some love. Inhale. And release. Good. And twirl to one side or the other. So left or right side. Just take a full round of breath. With your top arm, place it on the ground and push up a heavy torso. So kind of let the torso be heavy. You're using the strength of your arms to push yourself back up. We'll come around to center. Cross the legs just where we started. Maybe you sit up on the block if it's handy. Shoulders away from ears. Spread the collarbone wide, shoulder to shoulder. Feel that space. It's so nice. It really doesn't take much to be able to open up. Sometimes I wonder why it's hard to get on my mat, because it always feels so good. So creating that habit and that healthy lifestyle can take some time, but imprinting this feeling when you're done and trying to remember that for the next day when maybe it's feeling like a challenge. Just always try to come back. Come back to center, come back to your body, come back to your breath. Begin again. Hands to heart center. The light, the love, and the teacher within me bows and sees the light, the love, and the teacher within you. From all of us here at YOGATX, be well. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. Check us out at yogatx.org, our social media. We have all kinds of fun things happening there, and my personal website, colechanceyoga.com. And I will see you on your mat. Have a wonderful day. Exhale. Then inhale, we'll start to sit back and lift the arms. So chair pose. Inhale, spread the collarbones, and exhale, sit a little bit deeper. So I have the knees separate here. You can have the feet together if you'd like. The knees are